Yes guys, welcome to my channel. My name is J Russ and today we are reviewing my XC90, which is my company car, lease car. And yeah, just gonna go over a few bits about what I like about the car, the facts, what I use it for. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, so just before we get into the video, I just need to do a quick disclaimer. So this video is purely my own personal views. It doesn't represent the company that I work for in any sort of way. This is purely a video on the car that I currently drive, and just literally running over a few quick facts and yeah, just my overview on what it's like to drive this car. So yeah, I hope you like this video and but let's get back to it. Yeah, like I said, this is my XC90. This is the Ultra or Ultimate edition trim level. So it's the top spec trim level, and this is a plug-in hybrid. So combined output in terms of power is 455 brake horsepower, 709 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds it's reported as. Might be a little bit quicker if you've got it on some prep surface, perfect weather conditions and all of that. But yeah, it's a very fast car for the size, to be honest. When you put your foot down, it does shift. I think it surprised a lot of people on the road, because when you get those drivers that, you know, are tailgating and want you to move away, I'll just put it into sports mode. In fact, I don't even have to put it in sports mode, because with the hybrid, put my foot down, that extra power just kicks in and I'm gone. So yeah, I really do like that. So yeah, it is a very capable car for cruising and for, you know, some spirited driving as well. So yeah, it's a all-wheel drive, 8-speed automatic, and yeah, the overall comfort of it and the drive of it is really nice. So yeah, that's the main facts about the car. So I'm gonna just go around, firstly around the outside, and what I like about the styling and everything, and then we'll do it inside, and then I think I'll do what you call it now, yeah, a bit about how I use the car and what I use it for. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so what we have here is the headlights. I thought I'll start here because they are very iconic. So the Volvo headlights from the Scandinavian heritage, Swedish heritage, the Thor's hammer headlights design. I actually like them. They actually are really nice. It's quite a cool design, and to be honest, they are so recognizable whenever you see them. If you know, especially obviously at night, see those headlights in the rear, you know that you've got a Volvo behind you. I like the front end design. In this trim level, this is the bright trim level, so you get the chrome surrounds, chrome grille. So yeah, so you've got the chrome here, chrome grille, and then you've got, I'll come around this side, you've got the chrome surrounds around the windows. You've got the side skirts there, and the roofs as well, all in chrome. My preference, however, is actually the dark theme. So everything's all blacked out. So this is all blacked out, that's blacked out, and the front grille is blacked out as well. Moving on to the tyres. Now, it's quite an important thing for me, aesthetics and the looks of the car. So whenever I look at the stock list of company cars, the cars that I can get on the scheme, I always look for the ones with the 22s. They look the nicest, they look the best, because I think anything smaller, 21s you can actually get away with, because I had 21s before, because there were no 22s available. But 21s, they're all right. Anything smaller than that on this type of car, it just looks too small. The only downside is comfort. You do feel the difference. The 21s actually were quite comfortable, but for me, it was more I guess my wife doesn't agree, but for me, it was more looks over comfort to a certain degree. It's still a good ride because the car is on air suspension. So it is adjustable air suspension. It reads the road and adjusts accordingly. And when you put it in sports mode, for example, it goes down for a more sportier stance, more of an aggressive stance as well. But yeah, overall, I like the aesthetics of the car. This is the pre-facelift version, so they have now released the facelift version of this. So the front grille is different, it's a different design. I'll put up a picture in the video for you guys if you haven't seen it already. And I actually really do like it, it's nice. I do like this car, especially compared to the old versions, because before I got the job that I'm doing now, I never would have thought I'd have a Volvo car. When I was younger, it was like, oh, that's such an old man's car or whatever. I just didn't maybe not necessarily like the look of them. But yeah, when they came out, I was like, yeah, this is actually quite a nice looking car. And for me, it's perfect because I now have a family, got a little girl, and I've got another one on the way. So yeah, this is the perfect family car. So yeah, it's got plenty of space, but overall, the looks, this is what it's all about. And yeah, it looks nice in this color, really nice and sleek, business looking. I think this is now I'm trying to think now. I think this is my fourth XC90. I've had it in grey. I think that's it. I think two of them were in grey. I do like my cars to be uniformed on my driveway. So if you haven't seen already, my first video is on my Mercedes C-Class. Nice on the driveway. I've got two cars in black. So the first time I've actually been able to uniform my cars. But yeah, I like the colours. The colours that are on offer are really nice, and I do enjoy that aspect of the car. So yeah, let's move on to the inside of the car, and we'll just go over a few bits on that, and then we'll move on. We're in the inside of the car, the cabin, and it's a really nice place to be. It's really comfortable and really spacious. So with this car, there's quite a lot of features. I'll cover like the main ones, especially the ones that I use the most. So starting off with sound system. As a music head, I'm a musician, first of all. So I've been a musician since I was like 8 years old. I'm now 30, so do the maths. And yeah, so the sound system in here is actually really good. This is a Bowers and Wilkins system. So this is the system that you get with the top spec trim level. So it's got 19 speakers, including the subwoofer. And yeah, it's really, really good system. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the subwoofer's like in the floor. So yeah, you really get that immersive sound, especially for the bass. It really vibrates the whole cabin when you do turn it up, which I do. I do like the bass. So yeah, sound system's really good. Now, the infotainment system, this is obviously because it is the pre-facelift version, and it's not, obviously you've got the EX90 that's come out, and yeah, obviously it's got a whole new infotainment system and screen, but this is obviously the latest version at this point. So yeah, for the model year 2024, this is the infotainment screen that you get here. It's big enough, does the job. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that good stuff. Very responsive. You've got 360 cameras, so you've got reversing front and back, and then the 360s, you can switch between the two, whichever is your preference. What else do I use mainly? The driving modes. You've got, in fact, let me turn on the system. You can have a little close-up of what it looks like on here. So you've got the different driving modes here. So yeah, the driving modes you've got here, we'll go into settings, driving. It's quite quick to get to. I do miss the driving mode button that they used to have like around here, which is a bit annoying that they've got rid of that. But yeah, the main ones, obviously, it's defaulted to hybrid mode when you get in the car. When you're on the country roads, this is what I like to use. And as you might be able to hear, picked up on the mic, obviously gets rid of the electric default, and the valves open up on the exhaust, so the engine does come on. You've got pure mode. Now, pure mode is just for pure electric. I don't actually use that feature at all. I don't even charge the car. I'll get onto that later. Yeah, so you've got off-road mode, so that's quite a good feature for whenever you are actually taking this car off-roading. I don't do that, but like I've been in situations where I've been on those B roads that are quite techy and you need a little bit of off-road stability, or I've been to like concerts and stuff like that, or festivals should I say, and when the parking is on the grass and things like that, so this is handy. It automatically raises the ride height of the vehicle as well, and then you've got the constant all-wheel drive, which is handy. That's the main things in terms of the infotainment. That's all I really use. I use Apple CarPlay, so I've got my Spotify. You do actually have the Spotify app in that you can download onto the actual main car system, as well as YouTube. But obviously, YouTube you can only use when the car is stationary parked up, not actually in drive. But yeah, it's a good system. You've got all the safety features that are known, standard in a lot of cars nowadays. The cruise control, autopilot, keeps you a safe distance from the car in front, and all of those lovely functions, the anti-collision features and things like that are very important. Saved me a couple of times when people have had near misses in front of me, so yeah, thank God for that. Yeah, but like, overall the interior is really nice, lovely. You've got the leather-like material for the dashboard, the same with the seats and everything. Got the crystal gear stick, your park, your auto hold functions and features. Got all the nice wood trimmings, as you can see here, all nice materials to touch and everything, all nice and soft, obviously very good quality. The actual door bins, if you look at the door bins, so with the door bins, they are actually lined with a bit of material. You might not be able to catch that on camera, but they are lined with material, so it stops or reduces, at least anyway, anything that you've got in there rattling when you've got the music pumping. So yeah, it's a really good thought out design there. Bit scratchy plastics at the bottom, but overall, yeah, very nice to touch and feel. Center console is large, so you've got, it's a bit messy, so I do apologize. It's got bits in there. You've got the charging pads, and you've got your 12 volt in there. So we actually, if I bring this up, we actually use that for our little camera that we have. So usually my daughter's car seat is in the back, but she's with her mother today and there's no car seat in the car, but we have this little camera device here so we can keep an eye on her when she's in the back. So we have that, it's very handy. Then yeah, you've got the two cup holders. Again, apologies about the mess. And then you've got this bin here, I guess, where you've got all the storage, and this is where you've got the inputs for your charging, wired charging. You've got obviously, like I said, you've got the wireless there. This one here is the one that you use for Apple CarPlay. It's the one with the white ring around it. And then the other one below is just for standard charging. So yeah, that's all good there. Actually, I forgot to mention, you've got here, so you can see here, you've got the functions for your heated seats. So you press that icon there, brings up the heated steering wheel, heated seats, which I've got on at the moment. You've also, I'll bring that back up, you've got the bottom one there is for cool seats, so ventilation for when it's in the summer. You can obviously have cool air blowing through the seats instead. Got the same for the passengers, and the passenger again is heated and cooled. You've got the dual climate setting, so you can have it synced with the driver, or the passenger or the driver wants to have a different temperature to the other person on the other side. You can mix it up, so you can disconnect it and the passenger can have it low, for example, or higher. I'll bring it up anyway. So you've got the cameras, you've got the rear view camera. If I switch to 360, the door's open at the moment, that's why you've got that blank space there. We'll shut it just so you can, there we go. So now it's fully shut, you've got the full 360 view of everything around us. And then you've actually got the option to then go front, go back to 360, just bring up the side completely, which is very handy. You can see there, you can see where the car's, the tyres there. So it's very handy if you're in a tight spot and you're cautious about your alloys. You can obviously have a look and make sure you're not curbing your alloys, which is handy. Obviously, with these cameras, they do get dirty, especially in weather like it is at the moment. So they don't have a cleaning function on the rear. So it's a bit annoying in that sense, but you just have to sort it out yourself and wipe it with your finger or something, or just make sure your car's always staying clean. Take it to the car wash or wash it yourself. Quick one, functions. You've got everything that you need on the steering wheel. Turn it up and down. You've got your cruise control functions here. You can set your distance with these buttons here. You've got auto headlights, auto windscreen, everything you need. So you've got auto high beam as well, so I can just flick that there and that will then put it into the auto high beam. And so what it will do is we'll turn off parts of the high beam to make sure it doesn't dazzle the oncoming drivers, and then it goes back to a complete full beam. So yeah, it's a really good function. It's handy on those country roads when it's completely pitch black and you can't really see that far ahead. So yeah, it's a very good function and feature. The seats are really comfortable and adjustable. You can go up and down. I'll go all the way down. Now I'm on the floor. It does go quite low. So you can see the features and functions under there. And if I go all the way back up I have it at the highest. I like to feel like, I'm high up and above everyone else on the road. That presence, but that's just my preference. Like I said, they're really adjustable, and yeah, let's quickly go to the back and I'll talk about that as well. Oh, actually, just before sorry, I forgot to say that with these cars you can you obviously got an app as well, so you can control the functions. You can preheat the car or cool down the car, obviously depending on the temperature outside. So today it's cold, it was like minus 1 I think this morning, so we preheat the car and stuff like that. But also you have profiles, so you can set profiles for different drivers and you can actually link them to the keys. So I've got one of the keys, and every time I enter the car, it'll recognize that key and it will automatically go to my profile and adjust the seat to the setting, that position that I've got for the seat. So then when my wife goes into the car and she's got her key, goes to her profile, and she doesn't have to think about adjusting the seat because I am quite a bit taller than her. So yeah, it's a very handy feature. So yeah, let's get onto the back now. This is in my position. It's tight. I can see what people are saying now, innit? Yo, this is mad. So, yeah, I'm in the back now. Now, it is a very roomy car, but I like to have, as you can see, I like to have my seat. It's not that far back because I'm not that tall. I'm only like 5'10", 5'11", at a push maybe on platform shoes. But, yeah, so the way the back of these seats are, they do protrude out quite a bit, so I can see what people say now, like it does seem quite far back. I do have the seat slightly tilted back as well. That's just how I like it. It's not completely lying down, but it is slightly tilted, so I can see, you can kind of see in comparison to this, it is leaning back a little bit more, but still with the height that I am at, it's still enough leg room. I am courteous, so I do ask people if they are sitting behind me, are they comfortable, and I can deal with putting it up a bit more upright or moving it a little bit forward, and it's not that uncomfortable. It's just that I like to have my legs quite extended in terms of driving position. Obviously, like I said, I mentioned I've got a daughter and I've got another one on the way, so I'm gonna have 2 car seats here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what it's like and how to maneuver if we ever have extra passengers. Can they squeeze in the middle, or we have to put the seats at the back? So this is a 7-seater, so there are 2 seats at the back as well. They're not up. I'm not gonna put them up because I don't ever use them. Well, I say that I probably use them like 3 times. And I've had a full car of passengers. So usually the car seat's here, and it's rear facing. It's got plenty of room. Like I said, because this is protruding a little bit, you do have to push the passenger seat a bit forward. So it'll be interesting when I've got 2 car seats in the back, how I'm gonna have to readjust my seating position slightly. But yeah, we'll see. But the back is comfortable. You've got the dual climate controls. You've got the heated seats. You've got a 12 volt socket, sorry, USB-C sockets. So the ones in the front as well, I didn't mention, are USB-C as well. So you've got 2 there. So it's handy when the kids do get older and they're fighting over their iPads and iPhones and whatnot. They don't have to at least fight over the charging ports, because there is enough for everyone to go around. So yeah, so that's the back, and it's comfortable. It's definitely comfortable. So I'll show you the boot now. Now I've got stuff in the boot because I had to drop my wife off and I didn't have time to take everything out or hoover it for that matter. But this is my daily car. It does get used, so it's not going to be completely perfect. But yeah, the boot is really spacious. Like I said, we don't have the back seats up because we don't really have a need for it. Like I said, since I've had it, I think like 2 or 3 times I've had to put the seats up. So you've got plenty of boot space. When I do the shopping, more than enough. I tend to put this up. This is what it's for. It keeps everything quite secure, so I can pack the shopping quite tightly, and I know that nothing's going to roll around when you've got this up. Now, yeah, I've got all of this stuff in here, and you can actually, if you come here, you've got buttons here that you can lower and raise it up. I think the ignition's on, so it's not going to go up. I've turned off the car, but yeah, you press those once if you need it to go up a little bit higher, easier access, or lower. You've got 12 volt socket there. You've got your cup holders and everything. So you've got space, and people at the back are comfortable. They can put things in there. And then obviously, if you were to fold these seats down, which I'm not going to do today, but if you fold those down, you've got more than enough space. I actually helped my friend move house one time. Before I actually got my first XC90 on lease, we have like a pool car system. So I had one for a few days, and it just happened to be that one of my friends was moving house, and so I put all the seats down, and yeah, we packed so much in this car. A double mattress, and all sorts, and that all fit in this one car. So yeah, it is very handy if you need to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a very spacious car. I can't imagine downsizing now, especially with number 2 on the way. I mean, I do want saying that I do want to try the XC60 T8, not the T8, the black edition one. So it's all blacked out and stuff. So I might just try it out because it's a short-term lease anyway. So we have like a mileage limit and a term limit. So whichever comes first, and I tend to hit the mileage limit before the term time. So I've had this since September, and our little one is actually due in middle of April. So we're about 4 months away now because it's January. So yeah, it's potentially I could maybe sneak in an XC60 for the time being. It won't be too much of a downgrade in space. They're still very spacious. I've actually had one on lease before. That was actually the first car I had on lease, and then since then it's been 90s. But yeah, this is the rear. It's obviously power tailgate. You've got the hands-free sensors. Let's see if it works first time on camera. No. It's one of those ones. There we go. So second time, sometimes it's, I don't know, I think with all of them, they are very quite temperamental, but it's a good feature. When you've got your hands full, just kick your foot under and it opens. You've also got a lock function. So if it's if getting things out the boot is the last thing you're doing, there is a button to, rather than just close, there's a second button where you can just press to shut it and lock the car, which is very handy. So yeah, this is our XC90. Like I said, I got it in September. It's on nearly 7,500 miles. So we do quite a lot of mileage, to be fair, weekly. We probably average about 500 miles a week. Which I guess maybe in terms of people who travel a lot for work is not a lot, but for most people, we do more mileage than your average commuter, I think. Oh, the car is still on. It was in, it kicked into the battery, but obviously the battery is really low. And that's the other thing I wanted to say. So this is a hybrid, and I would use a hybrid function more in terms of actually charging the car, but we don't actually have a charging point at our house at the moment. So that is something that we're looking to do in the near future. So yeah, we don't charge it. I've charged the car once when I've taken it to the office. They've got charging points there, but my wife uses the car more often than I do in terms of weekly commute to work. She takes it twice a week to the office. So she averages 200. Yeah, she does 200. Well, not having average, just 200 miles a week for the 2 days she goes into the office. No charging facilities there that she can use. But yeah, we get good mileage out of the car. We travel a lot to Oxford, so I think I mentioned it in the first video. I live in Banbury. And we come to Oxford probably like 2-3 times a week. So we do a lot of motorway driving up and down the M40. The wife works down in Wycombe, High Wycombe, so that's again down the M40. We still get good mileage out of the car. I would say on a full tank between 300 to 400, depending on how we're driving and depending what sort of journeys we're doing. Probably would get more if we charged the car a bit more, but again, like I said, we don't really have the facility to do so. It takes a long time to charge on a 3-pin plug, but in the near future we will be getting charging point installed in the house, because I do want to get the EX90 as at some point when I can get it on lease, and obviously that's a fully electric car, and charging that on 3-pin would be a nightmare. Far too long, and I'm not about to spend my evenings sitting at a charging station to charge the car. So that will be something in the near future. But overall, I really love this car. My wife always says, yeah, she can't imagine downgrading, so to speak, from a XC90. It'd have to be that we would hop into something similar, you know, like a competitor sort of car. You know, what's the equivalent? I know X6s, X7s. The Q7s, that sort of size car, big car, 7-seaters, that would have to be the only option that we would kind of trade for. But yeah, man, it's a very, very good car. It's one that, Volvo are renowned for their safety. And so it's one of those cars that I'm very comfortable with my wife driving, especially as she's currently pregnant. And yeah, she's been driving Volvos for both pregnancies. So yeah, it's very reassuring that she's in those cars. My child is in that car, and obviously my other one on the way. But yeah, I really like this car. It's a comfy car. It does everything for me. It does the commutes, it does the casual driving, the spirited driving as well, within the limit, of course, within the limit. But yeah, it's a really nice car. There isn't much more for me to say on it, really. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my casual look around my other daily driver, so to speak. And to be fair, this is probably more of a daily driver than my Mercedes. So like I said, if you haven't checked that video out, please do check it out. Give your feedback in the comments, and obviously subscribe to my channel. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I think that's a wrap. And I just want to obviously say Happy New Year to everybody. And I hope that this new year is a prosperous one for you all. And yeah, enjoy the journey as I review more cars. I hope you liked it. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.